Hello everyone, if you like my videos, please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. In this video, we will learn about gene therapy. So let's see what is gene therapy. Gene therapy is a treatment, you can say, which is done to correct a defective gene responsible for disease development. That is, the gene which is responsible for disease development is corrected by introducing a functional gene into the cell. Suppose we have a gene, defective gene. Suppose this is your defective gene in a cell, okay? An individual is suffering from a disease due to defect in this particular gene, suppose. So what is done in gene therapy? The gene from a healthy cell is taken out, okay? Suppose this is the color of the healthy gene, okay? This will be cut out. This gene will be cut out and then it will be inserted in a vector medium. It may be a viral vector or non-viral vector, whatever it is. Then it will be allowed to infect the defective cell. Suppose if this is a defective cell, the virus, whenever it will infect the cell, it will insert its DNA molecule, right? We know. So its genetic material, it will insert inside the defective cell. Then what will happen? This gene which is the functional gene will get incorporated into the DNA of the defective cell. Then what will happen? Transcription will occur and then normal RNA for this particular gene will be formed and then normal protein will be transported to the cytoplasm. Okay, that means in the cytoplasm more normal proteins will be formed for this particular gene which was originally defective in the patient, right? In the future, this technique may allow doctors to treat disorders by inserting a gene into a patient cell instead of inserting a drug or surgery. So genetic disorders are actually treated with the help of gene therapy. Whenever we talk about genetic disorder, we know that the genetic disease could be dominant or recessive, right? Dominant or recessive. So dominant means what? A single gene, even if a single gene is defective, it will be able to cause the disease. But in case of recessive disorders, both the genes should be defective. If one of the gene is defective, then it will be a carrier for that particular disease. Okay, that individual will be carrier for that particular disease. Suppose a cross between a healthy female and an unhealthy male which is having defective X chromosome, suppose some defects in its X chromosome, then the progenies, there will be probability of forming 4 types of progenies. Suppose one will have defective, one will have non-defective, then the other will also have defective. So this type of thing will happen. So this will be affected individuals since it's a dominant disease. But in this case, if we take into consider a recessive disorder, these are the examples, suppose, of the progeny. Then in case of recessive disorder, it will be a carrier. In case of dominant, these progenies will be affected, but in case of recessive disorder, they will be carrier individuals. Example of a dominant disorder is Huntington's chorea. Huntington's chorea. And recessive disorder, example of recessive disorder is cystic fibrosis. So this is the idea about the genetic disorder I am talking about. Okay. Gene therapy is currently available primarily in research purpose. Okay, research setting. Most of the gene therapy for most of the diseases are in clinical trials. The US Food and Drug Administration has approved only a limited number of gene therapy products for sale in US. Hundreds of research studies are underway to test gene therapy for treatment of genetic disorder, cancer, HIV/AIDS. There are several approaches for gene therapy. Suppose replacing a mutated gene that causes diseases. With a healthy copy of the gene. Number B is inactivating or knocking out. Knocking out means completely removing a gene, okay? Inactivating or knocking out. Knocking in means silencing, and knocking out means completely removing a mutated gene that is functioning improperly. And number C is introducing a new gene. Introducing a completely new gene means a protein will be introduced, a gene that will produce a protein will be introduced that will be able to nullify the effect of the defective protein. So a completely new gene can also be introduced. These are the three approaches, okay, for gene therapy, treatment of gene therapy. Although gene therapy is a promising treatment option for a number of diseases such as inherited disorders, or your some type of cancers, then your some viral infections. The technique remains risky and is still under study, and to make sure that it will be safe and effective. Gene therapy is currently being tested only for diseases that have no other cure. That means for those individuals which have no survival rate. That means there is no chance of survival of those individuals. They are allowed for treatment, gene therapy treatment, okay, or treatment with gene therapy. You can say it's a clinical trial. There are some concerns regarding gene therapy, such as its short-lived nature, okay. That means what? The gene will be expressed for a very short period of time. It's expressed for a short period of time. It's not stable. The expression is not stable. That's why these are not, still not much efficient technique. Then it can elicit immune response, because most of the vectors used are viral vectors. This is a viral vector is the most preferred way of transferring the gene into the human cells. But what happens, even though the virulent factor of the vector is removed, it sometimes can elicit immune response, or it can infect cells. You never know. Viral cells can again regain its original virulent form and then can infect cells. So immune response, they can elicit immune response and infect cells. Then multigene disorders, like some diseases are caused by various a number of more than one genes. This is called multigene disorder. So gene therapy is not efficient for treatment of multigenic disorder. So these are some concerns about gene therapy. Now comes types of gene therapy. There are actually basically two types. One is your somatic gene therapy, and the other is germline gene therapy. If we talk about somatic gene therapy, It means therapeutic gene is transferred into a somatic cell. Somatic cells. For example, introduction of gene into bone marrow cells, blood cells, skin cells, etc. It will not be inherited later generations. Okay. At present, all research is directed to correct genetic defects in somatic cells. So it can be done in suppose copies of the normal gene is cloned in bacteria, then those genes are transferred in or inserted into a vector such as viral vector, then it is inserted into the cells of with the genetic disease. Maybe these cells can be cultured first, then can be reimplanted inside the cell, or they can be directly injected, whatever the process is. So the thing is that here somatic cells are treated. Okay, somatic cells are introduced with the modified gene. Number 2 is your germline gene therapy. First one was somatic gene therapy, and this one is your germline gene therapy. Germline gene therapy means the therapeutic gene is transferred into germ cells. That means your eggs and sperms. Okay, it is heritable and passed on to later generation. But for safety, ethical and technical reasons, it is not being attempted at present. The process is that the corrective gene for an illness such as Fanconi anemia is added to a fertilized egg, okay, by injection. This is called microinjection, okay, directly inserted into the nucleus of this egg cell, fertilized egg cell. Then the egg divides twice. The egg will be divided. Whenever there will be two egg cells formed, one egg cells will be tasted to make sure that the gene has been inserted correctly. Then the second one, the second egg cell will be implanted in the mother's uterus. Then 9 months later, a healthy child is born. The new gene is present in every cell, so that the individual and her offspring will be free of Fanconi anemia. So this is the idea, but it's not yet has been attempted because of some ethical issues. So we have learned about the types of gene therapy. Now we will talk about the approaches in gene therapy. What are the approaches? That means how the process, how it's done. Okay, there are basically two processes: in vivo gene therapy and ex vivo gene therapy. So this is the example of in vivo gene therapy. In vivo gene therapy. Sorry, not in vivo. Sorry about that. Ex vivo. Ex vivo gene therapy. Okay. It's the actually first ex vivo gene therapy. That means it was the first gene therapy which was done to correct the deficiency of enzyme adenosine deaminase in a 4-year-old child. Okay, she was suffering from a disease that was not curable. So doctors performed. The girl's name was Ashanti De Silva, and she was suffering from SCID, severe combined immunodeficiency syndrome. Okay, this is a kind of disorder where survival chances there is no survival chance. So doctor what they do, they did the experiment of gene therapy. The disease is caused due to a defect in gene coding for ADA. Okay, due to this, deoxyadenosine accumulate and destroy T lymphocytes, which disrupts the immunity and suffer from infectious diseases at very young age. So what researchers did actually in ex vivo gene therapy, what is done, adult stem cells are taken from patients. Okay, adult stem cells are taken from patients and therapeutic gene inserted into the vector. Then introduction of the therapeutic gene through vector with specifically targeted cell. The inserted DNA is not that one. Actually, whenever the therapeutic gene is introduced through vector into the cultured cells, okay, ex vivo means not directly inside the targeted cell. It means we will culture the therapeutic gene by introducing the therapeutic gene inside the cultured cells. Okay, means what? Adult stem cells will be taken out. Adult stem cells will be taken out from the patient, and they will be cultured in petri plates like this. Okay, and therapeutic gene will be introduced. Therapeutic gene. Sorry about that. Therapeutic. Let me draw. Therapeutic gene will be introduced with the help of a vector molecule. Let us suppose a virus. It will be allowed to infect these cultured cells. Then the gene will be inserted inside the cells. Okay, the cultured cells. That is why it is called ex vivo, because it is done in cell line. Okay, outside the human body. Then what happens? These cells, whichever will carry this gene, will be again separately cultured, and then they will be transplanted into the patient cells. Okay, suppose this is the clone DNA for human ADA gene. Suppose this bacteria is carrying the gene for ADA. Okay, it has been cloned in the bacterial cells. We always do the cloning in bacterial cell. Then it will be allowed to get inserted inside a virus. Suppose the virus will carry this ADA gene, cloned ADA gene. Then what will happen? The T cells, which has been cultured in petri plates, okay, that will be infected with this virus particles. Then they will insert their DNA inside the cells. The DNA will get incorporated into the T cells genome. Then those cells which will carry this particular ADA gene will be cultured to ensure that the ADA gene is active. Then it will be implanted inside the cells of the human being so that the ADA gene could function properly. This is the idea of ex vivo gene therapy. That means what? Therapeutic gene is introduced in cultured cell lines. Here we can see adult stem cells are taken out. Adult stem cells are taken out, then cultured in petri plate. Then therapeutic gene is inserted in a virus molecule. That virus is allowed to infect these cultured cells. The cells which will carry the gene of interest will be cultured separately, then will be introduced into the human body. But in vivo gene therapy is a different approach, where the therapeutic gene will be inserted into a vector molecule, but these vector molecules will be injected directly into the target cells. Okay. That means in vivo gene therapy involves introduction of therapeutic DNA directly into the patient body. Once inside the body in contact with the specifically targeted cells, the inserted DNA is incorporated into the tissue cells where it encodes the production of needed protein. In case of in vivo gene therapy, the therapeutic gene is directly inserted inside the cell. What is done? Actually, the viral particles are cultured in a packaging cell. This is called packaging cell. The packaging cells will contain all the proteins required for encapsulation of the or formation of the protein capsid, your envelope of the virus, everything. But the RNA of the RNA that is going to be inserted inside this virus particle will lack the virulent factor that is able to cause the disease. That these viruses will be avirulent. They won't be able to cause the disease. They will also lack the genes responsible for their replication inside the host cell, and they will only have the genes that will be required for integration inside the host DNA genome. Okay, host genome. Okay. So whatever the packaging cell line is, it will help to form the virus particle, its structure, but the DNA or RNA, whatever the genetic material is, it will lack the genes responsible for its replication and virulence. Okay, and they will only carry the genes responsible for their insertion and the gene of interest. Suppose the gene in red color is the gene of interest, then it will be inserted inside the virus particle that will get integrated into the host genome. And therefore if this gene was previously non-functional or defective in the target cell, after integration it will be transcribed into a normal RNA molecule that will produce functional proteins, but they will be injected directly inside the human body. Suppose this is the way they will be directly injected. Okay, there will be no ex vivo culture, there will be direct injection. Whatever the vector used for introduction of the functional gene, it will be injected directly in case of in vivo into the whole organism. Okay. Actually, in vivo gene therapy can be only possible in patients where individual cells cannot be cultured. Okay, cannot be cultured. One of the example of in vivo gene therapy is treatment of cystic fibrosis transmembrane cystic fibrosis disease. Okay. So it's a disease due to defect in the cystic fibrosis transmembrane regulator protein or gene. Okay, CTFR, defect in CTFR, which results in the accumulation of lot of chloride molecule, which draws a lot of water from surroundings, and this leads to accumulation of sticky mucus in respiratory tract and lungs. So this is actually treated by adenovirus vector. That means adenovirus, the functional gene is inserted into the adenovirus vector molecule, then it is injected inside the target cells or lungs. Actually it is injected through the nose, and then it will go into the lung cells and then help in replacement of the unhealthy gene with the healthy gene in the lung cells. So this video was all about the gene therapy, the types of gene therapy, and what are the approaches of gene therapy. In my next video we will discuss about what are the vectors used in gene therapy, and whether it's a viral vector, non-viral vector, and what are the ethical issues, advantages or disadvantages of this method. Thank you for watching my video.